Hello, I'm Marc Connor, and I'm deeply honored to accept the appointment as the 8th president of Skidmore College. I come from the Pacific Northwest. My wife and I were both born and raised in Tacoma, Washington, and then over the years found ourselves coming to the East when I went to Princeton for graduate school, and then coming to Washington and Lee now over 20 years ago. When people ask me what's wonderful about being provost, there's a lot of things, but the biggest thing is I get to talk about and work on the liberal arts education and what it means to do the liberal arts every hour of every day. So it really impressed me at Skidmore the way creativity is not confined to any one area, but it seems to sort of be a living and breathing part of the campus and the institution. Certainly as soon as one steps on the campus and you see music and theater and the Tang and all these great places where artistic endeavors are happening, you really get a sense that this is a place where creativity has dimensions that it doesn't have at most liberal arts colleges. But then also the way it pervades every aspect of the education. Then I see an emphasis on entrepreneurial thinking, an emphasis on the arts, an emphasis upon creative design. So as I look at the academic achievements of Skidmore, it clearly is a place where academic excellence infuses everything that people do.
In its recommendation to the Board of Trustees, the search committee described Marc as a passionate and highly articulate advocate of the liberal arts and spoke of his integrity and unflagging optimism. Marc is an energetic leader, experienced administrator, and dedicated scholar. He's also an outstanding communicator. I'm excited to see the connections he builds with all members of our Skidmore family, including our alumni, students, and faculty.
Dr. Connor's understanding of liberal arts education, the value of liberal arts education today, is so fundamentally connected to diversity. In his own words, the multiple perspectives create a stronger, better informed student body and learning environment.
I think the main thing that Marc does to make connections is that he makes himself available. He loves to brainstorm with folks, and I think he will bring all of that energy and an appetite for innovation and looking ahead, but at the same time he's very respectful of the work that people have done before him, and he's also very mindful of building teams and building collaboration.
He has been at the forefront of efforts to bring diversity to our academic program, very important in the beginnings of the African American Studies program here. You don't do that without leadership skills.
Diversity and inclusion has been at the heart of everything I've done as a teacher and a scholar. Diversity is the key word for a liberal arts education. You know, we learn from difference. We learn when we are challenged by that which is other to us. That's when the magic of learning happens. Nobody learns anything from a tautology. You know, A equals A teaches me nothing. But when I'm put alongside with or in the presence of brilliant people who are bringing experiences and perspectives and voices and ears that I have not had, that's when my own learning is most enriched. So the need for a rich approach to diversity and inclusion in America has never been greater. And the liberal arts colleges are the very institutions that are best poised to lead those discussions and to lead us into that kind of complexity. This is what the liberal arts mission is all about.
I believe Marc Connor is a great leader. One of the characteristics I really admire about Marc is his ability to make big decisions. And I think he will be a voice on the national, regional, and local scale for the liberal arts.
Leadership is really much more about service than it is about sort of being in front and leading the charge. When I think about a leadership role at Skidmore, that role is going to be deeply collaborative. I want to have as many diverse voices at the table as possible. I'm a big believer in leading through listening and listening and really hearing sometimes what is going unsaid, which is where you can often hear the biggest concerns and the biggest aspirations of a community. It's very important when one arrives at a new place to really listen to the community, to hear what the concerns are, to start to learn what the strengths are, finding out where the hidden gems and the miracles are happening, and also being really attentive to finding out, where the stresses, where are the pressures, what are the things the community wants to do to transform itself and make itself even better.
What makes Marc a great leader in my mind is at his core, he is a teacher. He's passionate about the educational enterprise. And then in working with Marc as an administrator, you can tell that all of his decisions are grounded in what is the best approach to serve our overall educational mission.
One of the things that certainly drew me to Skidmore is its rich traditions of excellence, particularly in the last decade, when it has really positioned itself in an enviable position of growth and strength. It has become more diverse, it has increased its endowment, it's become more selective. I can't say enough about what President Glassbach in particular has been able to accomplish. So I think my role coming in is to put myself in service of that Skidmore mission and that tradition of excellence and of aspiration. When I think about the message I have for the Skidmore community, it's really two parts. The first part is profound respect for what Skidmore has achieved and the excellence that it has attained, and then tremendous excitement to be part of where Skidmore wants to go and the aspirations that Skidmore has. One of the most exciting things about being president is you're expected to be interacting with every single part of a college community, and that's a real gift. So I'm enormously excited to get to know the Skidmore faculty and the students and the staff and the Saratoga Springs community and really become immersed in what will be our new home. I'm also extraordinarily excited to get to know the generations of alums who look at Skidmore as alma mater, as this kind of home that they look back on. Those are the stories that make a college what it is, and anybody who wants to be a part of the future of an institution has to know the past and have great respect for that past. And when I think about the sorts of communities with which I want to be a part, that kind of community of trust, a place where all are welcome, all have a voice, all are encouraged to participate, to lead, to gather, to be a member of that community.
I congratulate Skidmore. This was a brilliant choice. I feel so fortunate to have had Marc, not just as a colleague, but truly as a mentor. And when I first came, I thought, Marc is really busy. I don't want to ask Marc a question every day or bother him. But I quickly learned that it was not only okay, but that Marc truly enjoyed answering questions and being supportive, not just because he's a wonderful administrator and a very, very supportive colleague, but that he recognizes that for all of us to do our best and for the institution to move forward, we have to work together.
One of the real hopes that I have as president is as much as I can to be a part of the intellectual life of Skidmore, to really hear what new programs, what interdisciplinary efforts, what ways to make the community more diverse, more inclusive, more trusting. What are the things academically and intellectually that are going to bring the community together? What are the faculty most excited about as they look at their disciplines, not just in the present moment, but thinking in the next quarter century? I'm just exceptionally excited at this opportunity and so deeply honored that Skidmore has asked me to play a role in its future.